Hello, everyone. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. So, in today's video, we will be learning how to sew this elegant dress. Of course, the pattern has already been drafted in the previous video, so do check that one out if you've not watched it. But if you have, kindly do check this one out as well. So, we'll be learning how to sew the whole process, beading everything together. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and share. So once you shorten your lining by 2 inches, you sew beneath it. So we start by sewing the down section, okay? So you sew around our slit length, the longest length, okay? So after that we give an overstitch on our lining. Okay, so that is what is being done here. You give an overstitch on our lining, and here the so this particular section, it has already been hemmed together. There is no pin attached to it because it has already been hemmed together using our hemming stiff. So in our previous video, you realized that I was using this hemming stay, or I was using this hemming stiff as it's been called here in Ghana, to hem it together. Okay, if you could remember. So that is what we use to stabilize it, to attach it together so that we wouldn't be using pins for that section. So once that is done, I sew the whole pattern on it just so that it would give that illusion that you saw in the beginning of the video. So once that is done, we will do that with the other bags as well. We will sew it beneath it. Okay, so where the skirt is ending, like around where the feet is. Okay, so your slit length measurement, that is what we are sewing, attaching our lining to. We'll not be doing that with the waist yet, but we will be doing that with down section as well. So with the two sides, we are working on the other half of the back. So once that stitch is done, we would also move ahead and then do an overstitch on that. Please, my videos are not long just because I want to make it long, but I just want to make it detailed so that you can see whatever I'm doing. So here we have used a non-woven interface, okay, on our print. And this is like the, you could also call it as a daughter stiff. Like this is a very soft one because I didn't want to become extremely hard. You can also use a soft one for your Ankara prints, while you use the medium one for your lining. So once that is done, I'm attaching the other side of the brass section, okay, to the center front as it can be seen here. So after that is done, I repeat the same process at the other sections. So after that is done as well, we will move on to attach our other section to it. So after that particular is done, so you make sure that they are lining and then the underparts are meeting just where they are expected to meet. Okay, so once that is done, you make sure that it has been sewn and lined beautifully. So after that is done, we will be giving our notches. As it can be seen here, notches are very, very important, especially when it's around the curvy side. Okay, so once that is done, we will be picking our back and then we'll be aligning our patterns together. Please do not forget to write your patterns on, not your numbers on your patterns so that it'll be easier for you to identify them, especially if you're a beginner. Okay, you know which angles each one goes. And then as usual, you give your notches that is expected to be done. From this section, you have to move to your machine to give it a bit of some ironing. Okay, so here you'd also join your lining as well, and then you make sure that they are falling where they're supposed to fall. But try your best to make sure that you do write your numbers on them so that you do not mess them up. So after that is done, you have to also move on to be giving out your notches to where those joinings had been done. So when that is done, we are moving on to our lining. We are first joining our center front together as it can be seen here, and then we will move on to where our side fronts are. Okay, so once the side fronts are joined, like you've been seeing here, please make sure that your underbust curves are aligning as they're expected to align. So once that is ready, you will move them to this section, and then make sure that the dots are aligning. Okay, you realize that the curves should be aligning, and then the top section should be matching with it perfectly. So after that, you give your notches to your lining as well. Notches are very, very much important, but when you're doing the curtain, make sure that it doesn't really cut the stitches you've done. So once that is ready, you would actually open it up like you can see me doing here, and then I'll position the center front to the center front and then pin them together. These are very much important. We don't want our darting lines being distant from each other. You have to make sure that they are aligning the best possible way they can. So once that is ready, you move on to your machine, attach a hemming gum to it, just so that when you are done with the whole sewing and then you iron it, it would make it look firm, and then it would just stabilize the interface as where it's expected to be. Okay, it just wouldn't be popping up and stuff like that, even though you will be doing an overstitch. You can also decide not to use your hemming gum if you don't have a hemming gum around. That's totally fine. You can also do the stitch and then you do your overstitch and you'll be good to go. But here I just wanted to reinforce it in the best possible way that I could. That is why I use the hemming gun for that. So once that is done, as it can be seen here, you also make sure that you're positioning them at where they're expected to be to make sure it meets at the center perfectly. This is also very important. You give your notches at the upper section, okay, where the curves are very, very much important, especially where the sweetheart curve happens and then your armhole as well. So after that is done, you move on to do an overstitch on it. Kindly do take a critical look at it. Make sure that you position everything. You just wipe them all under your lining and then you do an overstitch beneath it as it can be seen here. Okay, so you do that and then you position them at where they are expected to be. So once that is fully ready, do your best to make sure that you are aligning them and directing your machine where your understitch has to be. Please, if this is your first time watching my video, do not forget to turn on your notification bell. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that anytime I upload a new video, you will be alerted. So this is how it should be looking if you've sewn till this section. This is how your project should be looking. So once that is done, you can also get some pieces of the fabric you are working around or some masking tape. We will be using that to cover our limb bone so that it wouldn't poke through our lining. This is also one of the reasons why I recommend the use of bridal satin as your lining for Ankara rather than using our normal lining in our market. Our normal lining in our market are very, very light. Okay, so if you forget to add your covers to the tip of your wedge-limb bone or your masking tape to the tip of your wedge-limb bone, it can easily poke out and be poking you. Okay, so once you put them on, you realize that it will be scratching your skin, and that can be very, very irritating. So if you have any other fabric, you can use it to cover the edges and then you sew it set. So with this section, we will be attaching our bra cap to it. So once you have your bra cap, you just put your hands in between your lining and then position your bra cap at where your most apex is to your bra cap most apex section. So once that is done, make sure that the first installment or the first pin is aligning with the second one that has been pinned. So have you noticed how there's giving these changes, like massive changes right after we install our caps? That is it. It is a great thing to do if you're working around something like that. You can also choose to forgo it if you do not have these around, but it's always a plus if you do have them around. I also do hand stitch most of my backup in. You might want to ask the reason why, but I just enjoy the process if I have to sew them in rather than using my machine to sew it. I just don't know why, but this is what I do. I don't enjoy sewing it with my machine. I just enjoy using my hands, okay? So please don't come for me. This is what I like to do. So once that is done, you would secure our upper section, each lining with the other section as well. So as it can be seen here. So after that is secured, I'll just sew on it to make sure that it stabilizes and it looks super firm and where it's supposed to be. Where it's supposed to be. So once that is done, I would move on to the down section. Okay, I'll find the middle of my down section. You realize that if you really watch my tutorials, you realize how important midpoints are to me. So once I find the middle of it, I'll also find the middle of the upper section and then I'll connect them. But I'll make sure that the fabric is getting connected to the fabric of the top. So once the fabric of the top is getting connected to the fabric of the down, you know, okay, that is great. But if you do it and it is actually getting connected to that of the lining connecting to fabric, you know it's going to be a disaster. You just have to understand there's going to be a disaster. So it is always great that you make sure that the fabric is aligning with the fabric. So once that is truly done, as it can be seen here, I realized that it didn't really soak. So let's go through the whole process all over again. So you attach your fabric to the fabric of the top. Make sure that it is connecting with the fabric. Okay, fabric to fabric, and then the lining should be connecting with the lining at the back. Okay, as it can be seen here. Okay, it will be wrapped around it. So your fabric will be connected to the fabric and the lining will be connected to the lining. So once you turn it, you realize that, okay, it is giving what it is supposed to give. Okay, as you can see here, this is how it is looking like. Okay, this is how it is looking like, and this is how the inside is also looking like. Okay, so let's move on to the back. After that, we'll be sewing the upper section of the back, and then as it can be seen here, you give your notches, which is very, very much important. So you give your notches as is expected to do, and then you'd also give an overstitch of it. So with your overstitch, you make sure that you clear all the fabric section beneath your lining, and then you give it an overstitch just to stabilize it. If you can really see what is happening here. And with your back as well, you apply your boning just to make it stand firm and make it pop out. So once that is done, you have to also cover it with your either fabric or your masking tape. You have to cover their ends because you don't want them coming out and then poking you. It can really feel irritating. So you really do not have to do that. So once that is done, you stabilize it down by joining them together and then making sure that it just gets stabilized. So once that is done, you also move on to repeat the same process with the back because the back has a zip allowance. They will be doing the same process with the other half of it. Please, Abego, I have reasons why my videos are done in these repetitive sections just so that you can really understand what is being done. So when you miss the first one, you can take a glimpse of the second one. But if these are too long for you, you just let me know in the comment section so that next time I will make them shorter. So just one process and we will be good to go. And here I had to attach Renakares collections label to it. So that is what you see me doing here. I'm attaching our label to it. So this was made at Renakares. And here in this section, I'll be working around my darting and I'm using the whole main fabric for the darting. I hope you understood, you saw what I'm doing here. So making sure that the excess of it, the allowances that were joined to it is being turned into our dots. Okay, that is what was seen. You see me doing here. So making sure that our excess are being used as our dots, and the length of the dots is 5 inches. So for that is super constant. But for the front, we do not work around any dot for our front projects. I just don't do any that then for front project for the front. I just focus much on my that for the back. But it depends on the style as well. If the style calls for it, then I would do it. But if it doesn't, then I do not. So that is what you're being seen here. So we would also sewing the down with the top as well. So I'm making sure that my darts are being aligned with that of the lining. Okay, so once I'm done with the lining, I'm transferring that into the African print, as you can see here. So I'm transferring the dart from the print, the lining to the print. So once that is done, I'm pinning them together to make sure that they are stabilized, and I'm joining my dart to my dart. But the fabric is connected to the fabric, as you can see here, and then the lining will be connected to the lining. Okay, so I'm rolling all over it. The lining will be connected to the lining. Okay, so I'm positioning it like so. I hope you can see what is being done here. Okay, my videos are long for a reason. So once that is done here, I repeat the same process with that of the other half. So let's just go through the whole process all over again. We know the inches for our dots now. We do it using our lining as our guide. So once that is done, I will just pin it up like so, and then I will turn it around to wrap it with the top as it can be seen here. And once that is all done and ready, so there is a part 3 for this particular video. If you watched till this section, we are almost 19 minutes in and it's getting super long. So I will be uploading the part 3 as well so that you can see how the shape was done and then how the draping was done.